Hi, everyone. Welcome to America's Podcast. I'm your host, Don Ledesma. Welcome to today's show. Not going to be a very long one, but just kind of want to talk about, of course, it's all over the news, the UAPs or unidentified aerial phenomenon that's happening out there in the New Jersey area. That's been going on like crazy. It's all over the world news, things like that. But before we start, I'd like to thank all our military branches out there: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, and of course the National Guard. Because they and the Coast Guard, they're out there actually protecting our nation. As we work and live and breathe every day, these people are the ones that are protecting us from anything harm, domestic or foreign. So it's we always appreciate them 150%. And if you have a child or anybody in the military, thank them from America's Podcast. We really appreciate them for their service. Now, we are actually live right now on Spreaker, so you can catch us on audio. And we do go live every once in a while on there as we're doing now. We're doing the video and the audio together, so that way you guys can kind of get a little bit more of logistics of what we do here. America's Podcast, we're non-biased. We don't go left, right, middle. We just kind of give it to you like it is, and it's about everything American, right? Everything that happens in America, United States of America, right? So we kind of give you the news as it's coming through, right? And we do take live callers every once in a while. So if you see this pop up, we'll get a live call that comes through, and we'll kind of talk to them as we're going through this thing. Now, don't forget to follow us. You can follow us on these audio platforms right now. We are actually on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. We're all over the place right now, and actually you can catch us on X, different places like that where you can follow us on Rumble, YouTube. We're all over the place. All right. So I really hope you guys are enjoying the content that's coming out of here as well. Of course, one of our sponsors, America's Coffee. Please go check that out. Buy some. It's a very great. Man, this stuff tastes great. We drink it every day here now. And it's selling like hotcakes. Really, in reality, people are just enjoying the taste of this coffee. Go look at America-coffee.com. Go check it out and order you some coffee. It's great. It's a coffee bean. So you got to grind it yourself, but it's okay. It's still a great coffee. Anyway. So we've been noticing that there's been a lot of activity in the New Jersey area, things like that. It was all over the news, of course, past couple of days. People were going nuts, and there's a conflicting evidence to what these things are, what they're not, right? And of course, I have another podcast called Alien Strand Podcast that I do, nothing but extraterrestrials, things like that. But on this one, this is just America's Podcast because this is what it's about. But I want to just kind of show you a little bit of evidence that we have. This is what actually started coming out, which you guys probably already seen. But this is a video that came out here the other day, and this was kind of flying over New Jersey, over the military base. So check this out.
Mysterious drones in South Jersey. They're down here now. Mysterious drones. These are military crafts. These are not extraterrestrials. They are not extraterrestrials. These are military craft.
All right, so you see him talking. He's saying it's not extraterrestrials. It's a military craft that's out there, and you have to just kind of take it like a grain of salt. What is it? What is it not? So they asked the State Department, the government, exactly what we're looking at. What are people catching in the skies? Is this something one of ours? Is this military, or is this something that was coming from? Some people were saying, I think a congressman said that there was a mothership, let's just say it that way, but it's probably a ship that it was on the east coast of the United States, and it was actually sending out these drones for spying purposes, right? Hey, we don't know. Nobody knew anything, right? So then they put out this statement. Let me just show you the statement real quick, what they had to say.
Can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings over New Jersey? It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. we're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but you know, at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership.
All right. So you heard it from their voice right there. So they're pretty much telling you, no, it's not military. It's not one of, and then we don't know what it is, right? And then, of course, lo and behold, this morning when I wake up, everybody's still scrambling their brains about it, trying to figure it out. And then we end up finding out that it is part of a military drone, right? So why lie, man? And I'm going to show you the drone. It's called an XP4 right there.
At Terradynamics, we believe that advanced air mobility can change the world for the better. We founded Terradynamics to bring the world our patented transwing VTOL aircraft design that folds its wings during flight to transition between rotorcraft and fixed-wing configurations.
All right, so that's what that's what people have know that this is what it is, right? They're actually testing a drone out there. So why lie, right? And that's the whole question about it. Like, of course, it's probably this is probably something that the military is picking up, and maybe they have a contract with them on these drones. But I mean, and then why fly them in a space to where there's so many people around, right? And that so many people are going to see, especially at night, and that's what I don't understand, right? Why do this and then lie about it and say no, we don't know what it is. Of course, I know they have to just not give away a lot of their secrets, and of course military, and I get that part, but at least say we're working with a company right now. They're out there flying this thing, so that way you can take your eyes off of this for a little while, right? And you don't have the whole world kind of freaking out on exactly what's going on out there, right? Especially when it comes to UFOs, right? Because right away people are like, right now the UFO community has gone freaking nuts, right? You see it right here, right? Bam, because everybody wants to think automatically it's a UFO, and then but yet it's a freaking drone, right? If you want to see a real UFO, I'm gonna show you real quick. That's a UFO, huge, huge, huge. This is in Mexico, by the way. Hot spots out there. This is what a actual UFO looks like during the day, mind you. So this thing's probably about as big as a freaking carrier. Do these things exist? Yeah. Yeah, we've seen too many of them, man. Too many of them. But, and now that I'm showing you the difference between an apple and an orange, that you have to figure out exactly how to tell the public when this stuff is out there, right? And then why lie about it? And then they ask you questions straight up and lie about it. That's why we don't trust our governments and big brothers and things. And I get the secrecy, and you have to, but this drone actually, has a lot of capabilities on it because it's transfixed, right? So in other words, it'll fly like a standard drone, and then it opens up into a fixed wing, right? So it flies like a plane, so it can get further out there. And this is why it's made for them, and the military is really looking into this drone, right? But as us, as regular people out there that fly our drones, I have a video production company, and I do fly a drone to make my documentaries and things like that. But and I have to use apps, right, in order to fly, because a lot of these apps, they show restricted airspaces, right? I live down here in South Texas. We have a lot of bases, military bases, and restricted airspaces, places you can't really fly. You're not supposed to be really flying over residential areas, uh, like even like carnivals, maybe amusement parks, things like that. You're not supposed to fly, even in parades. You're not supposed to. That's just big no-nos that they have against people that fly drones, right? And you're not supposed to fly them at night. That's another thing, right? So, and these are the kind of apps that we use, right? Yes, that UFO is real. What you just saw. So these are the apps that we use at times to know that, where you're going to go exactly, and it's giving you the areas of, you know where you're going to fly your drone, right? So if this is already telling you don't fly here, you can't fly there, so why are these guys doing it unless they have permission to fly, right? Because they're actually working under under the military, right, under their umbrella. Let's just put it to you that way. And and that's the difference between that drone and what you're seeing at night. Because remember, I'm going to show you this. A lot of people don't really pay attention to the what you're supposed to see on a drone. A lot of times, a regular drone, they don't have to have. All they have to have is these nav lights that have to show, like, they're like called collision lights, so people know that how big this thing is, right? So most of the times on a helicopter, you're going to see stuff like this, right? This is exactly what you're going to see on a helicopter, right? So and you're going to see that where the nav lights are, red, green. You're going to have red on one side, green on the other, right? And you'll have another light on top. Most helicopters will actually have a white blinking light actually at the bottom or at the back, right? And this is how we know what these aircraft are, right? And you have to kind of know what you're seeing before you say they're UAPs, UFOs. But since we are in the UFO world right now, where it's starting to come out in the Pentagon, and they're starting to have these congressional hearings and things like that. This is what they want to talk about, is this, right? And this is real, by the way. When you the person out there that's talking, yes, this is real. This is a real actual video, right? I've broken it down on my other podcast, Alien Strand podcast, and I've showed you that I've showed the analysis, electronic magnetic fields that are coming off of this thing, right? This thing is huge. Look at the size of that mountain. Look at the size of that craft. And that's not CGI. We've already noted that and used our analysis against CGI, everything like that. That is not CGI. All right. That's what you would call a big mothership. Yeah. So that's the difference between that and that, right? Okay. So just know that what you guys are seeing out there's probably about as big as a small little car, maybe, those little ones that look like a toy. But that's what people were saying. This thing looks like about the size of a small car. Well, this is what you're seeing, and it's kind of hard to tell to kind of give you the exact dimensions when it's up in the sky. This, compared to what you just saw as a UFO against the mountains, look how big this thing is. And then when I showed you the other one of the mountains, right? Yeah, you can see the size comparable difference, right, to that, right? And that's where we need to know that, if they're using the military industrial complex, or if they're trying to use something, or maybe work on something at night, please let the people know, because we are the people, and we need to know what's going on, right? And then when we have these discussions with our DOD and all these people out there, that are talking for the sitting president right now, that at least kind of be upfront a little bit with us. Don't just go around it, 150%. Just don't go around it. Tell us the truth. Yeah, we're working with this company, and they're actually testing a drone for us right now. But I don't know if you've been watching on X, on that platform. If you guys are part of that, if you are, go check that out. I mean, it can be graphic sometimes, but they are actually the Ukrainians and Russians against each other. They're using these little small drones with a grenade attached to it, maybe two of them, where they actually drop it on their targets, right? And it's simplified, but right now the drone technology and the drone warfare is exactly what they're starting to use now instead of people. Okay. And, but they are still taking people out with this drone technology, right? And it's all for warfare, really, in reality. Um, is it for the security of the country? I don't know. Maybe it is, but and if they're trying to do that, then then we need to figure out exactly what's happening in our skies above our heads, and we need to know the difference between a UFO and a actual drone, right? And this is what we have to do here, right? It's going to be the drone or UFO, right? So I don't know. It's this drone actually has it has a distance of 60 miles, right? That's its capabilities, and and it can carry a good sized payload as well, right? So and this is the smaller drone because they actually have an XP4, which is that one. They have an XP5 and an XP7, right? Which is one of them, the seven, I think is powered by an actual fuel, right? The actual fuel, not just a battery, right? So and this thing can cruise at 15,000 feet, which this drone right here cruises at about 15,000 feet. It is electronic powertrain. This it can fly for about an hour straight. Okay, and it cruises about 65 knots, right, or 100 knots in a dash, right? So this is how fast this thing can travel, right? Let's just say about close to 100 miles an hour, right? Wingspan 4 meters, and it actually, it's they're making them strong enough to carry some payloads, really, in reality, right? And that's why they're making them this way. We, of course, we have aircraft this way already in our military. Why not make a smaller version of it, unmanned, and to do a longer reconnaissance mission, possibly, or a shorter jump, so that way it doesn't have to go so far. And 15,000 feet is pretty high. Of course, our standard aircraft are, our regular airplanes, 32,000 feet. That's 39. This is where we're flying on a commercial aircraft, right? And this is about halfway, right? So this is how we have to really know exactly what we're doing and what we're seeing up in the skies, right? And we have to know, let's do a little homework sometimes. I know it's kind of hard because we're jumping the gun to aliens right right away, right? Why not? I mean, hey, I do it too. I'm guilty of that myself, but we need to figure out what this. Once we know that most aircraft are going to have a red and a green nav light. It's going to be one on one side, the green on the other side. This is how the FAA wants uh, these aircraft to be, because this is part of their regulations, right? And you have to, there's a lot of safety required in flying drones. You can fly them, just for entertainment purposes, right? But remember, you still have to register these drones as well, right? So when you register them, you get it going, and they can actually bring your own drone down. You know that, right? So they just push a button. They already know it's you, and they bring your drone back, or they bring it back home. So if you're close to military bases, anything like that, then yeah, this is where you'll have to know. There was an app called Before You Fly that I would use, and that would pretty much tell me where I could fly, the zones. I just showed you that a minute ago. And it could be. And somebody's saying out there, the final card, a fake alien invasion. Yeah, probably. They said they were gonna do it, right? So why not mix it with the other? It's a possibility, uh, and he says, "How do I know I was there?" Wow. Okay, well, shoot, if you know something, let us have it. Give it to us, man, because we want to make sure that we're on top of that game as well, and Like I said, I did share a little bit of that with you guys today, as far as the app, which this is it right here. And when you zoom out, it shows you the safe zones, right? The areas that you can fly, right? And this one's called Skylink or something like that. I just clicked the before fly because that app does not exist anymore. It just kind of takes you to several other different apps that you can use now to kind of triangulate your drone if you're going to fly. But I brought this out here so you guys can see that right, that purple is a military base here down here in South Texas, right? So you cannot fly anywhere in these areas, right? You literally have to be just in all those green areas in order to be in the safe zone to fly, right? I know because I'm a drone pilot myself, right? I do have one, and it's a big one too. It's probably about the size of my desk. But I use those for videography, right? And that is exactly what I do. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick exactly what's going on out there with these. If it's a UFO or if it's, yeah, it's not one of these, man. I'm gonna tell you, it's not one of these. So, yeah, it's. I, if you could just see one of these up close and just kind of throw it out there to the masses, and and if just these major networks could just catch this at least one time, it would really blow their socks off, right? I don't care who it is, Fox, CNN, I don't care, NBC, I don't care who it is. Show these UFOs is what they really are, right? And then we'll know exactly what it is. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's America's podcast. I just gave you a little bit of information on exactly what's out there on in our skies, which is these drones, right? And I just gave you a little information on this XP4, right? So this is what we need to know, right? And just keep your eyes up in the sky, know your nav lights. Now these drones, what we're seeing out there that night, all have green lights. There's not a red light on them. I've seen this one at night. It does have one red light on it, but it looks like all four motors have a green light on it, which is fine through FAA regulations. So as long as you have a red and a green, you're good to rock and roll. All right. So just make sure that you know what you're seeing up in the sky before you start reporting UFOs, things like that. And of course, now that we know what it is, I hope Big Brother just stops lying to just to yes, we hired these guys, and let's just go ahead and get this is what we're doing. All right. So anyway, all right, guys, have yourselves a good day. Like I said, thank you for all the military out there. We appreciate every one of you guys. We couldn't be safer without you. And have yourselves a good day. Enjoy America's podcast. Go to all my links. It's going to say in the description there. Check it out. Go check out my other podcast. It's called Alien Strand Podcast. I've been doing it for like 7 years now. Yeah, I got a lot of good stuff on there too. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Don't forget, America first, man. America first. Freedom.